Let's see. We are live. Yes, it's Monday, and it's the beginning of a new week. A lot of stuff has happened, and today we're gonna be talking sports, man. So I'm not getting into a lot of the other stuff. I'm not going down any rabbit holes on random stuff. So I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you came back safe. You got to work safe for those that have to go to work, and we're gonna get into it. Today, my guests are Steve Osborne and Troy Tibbetts. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
Yo, yo.
So we talking sports today, man. We're gonna, you know, I had a couple more people lined up, but it is what it is. When we can get them on, we'll get them on. But we've been talking about doing this section for a minute, so here we are.
We've been talking about it since the beginning of the playoffs.
Since the beginning of the playoffs, we've been talking about doing some sports, man. Because that's what we do. We can sit in the office and argue sports all day, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, so we're gonna
Most
talk about
definitely.
the NBA playoffs, man. So they got this new thing, the play-in tournament. Man, what's y'all's opinion on the play-in tournament?
So I know Troy wasn't very familiar with it. So basically, the way it works, anyone here isn't familiar with it, is 1 through 6 is still they're in the playoffs, but now we seed down to 10, and 7 and 10 will play each other, and 8 and 9 will play each other for those last two spots.
That's not right. It's it's 7 play 8, 9 play 10.
Play 10. See, look at that.
So it's a little bit confusing when you first look at it. So what happens is, all right, Troy, you gotta follow along, man. Okay, so like he said, first 6 are in. Then you got 7 play 8. The winner of
Okay.
7 and 8 is in.
Okay.
But 8, the loser, will play the winner of 9 and 10. The loser of 9 and 10 is out. The winner goes and plays the loser of 7 and 8
For that last spot.
for that last spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And
so
why did they decide to go to this? Was this just like a sudden change, or?
I mean, I think COVID may have had something to do with it. They still testing it out. It's not official yet, but yeah, man. I like the play-in tournament, man. I think
Yeah,
because
I get.
it gives those teams that on the outside looking in, like you get that Cinderella feeling in the NBA, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
more opportunity. It sounds like it's presenting more opportunity for teams that are on the verge of making it, but not quite.
Yeah.
But whoever really gets hot down the stretch is what it's all about at the end of the day.
Look, like
Well,
for instance, one of the teams that was in the play-in tournament on the East was Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was like, "Who wants to see Brooklyn in the playoffs? It doesn't matter where they're seated at." I mean, and honestly, I thought, "Hey, look, I feel bad for that seed. That's the number 1 or 2 spot they got to play against Brooklyn, and them Jokers it was Boston. Them Jokers spanked them, right?
Yeah, they beat them pretty bad. I'm pretty sure they swept them, didn't they?
I think so.
Yes,
I
yes,
think so.
sir.
Hey, I think
Yeah.
that's your team, right, Ozzy?
Oh yeah, all Boston.
Oh,
How do you have
Boston.
KD and Kyrie on the same team and not be able to win one game in the playoffs, man? I don't get that.
Man.
Oh, are we jumping right in?
Let's jump into it, man. Let's jump into it.
Well, here's my
I
issue.
don't waste no time. I'm just saying. Like,
Let's go.
Yeah.
come on now.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. KD is better than anyone on the Celtics. I'd love to say that Tatum's better, but he's not. But the issue is like,
Not
KD's
yet, at least.
not yet. That's right, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. I mean, Tatum's a beast. We're not no
Tatum is a
disrespect.
beast.
He's young too, man.
No
He's
disrespect
super young.
He's a
to any
beast.
of them. But
Uh,
KD is like legit. He's probably one of the most dynamic scorers still in the game, right?
Yeah,
He
for
might
sure.
be, he might be the best all-around scorer we've ever seen.
I could
but
agree
I-
with that.
I think the issue was because Katie's going to go and do what Katie does. The issue I think was you had the issues with Kyrie and the vaccine. We don't need to get into that, but regardless, he played like 20 games, and out of those games, I think they only played a handful together. And then because of Kyrie not wanting to play, Harden left, so they lost their 3 core right there. And then you saw the 76ers. I mean, Harden didn't even show up, so he might just be washed now. But you have players that just like they didn't get time to mesh together. And as talented as KD might be, I mean, I think he averaged like 33, 7, and 4, something along those lines throughout the playoffs. It doesn't matter if he dominates or not. But also, on the other hand, KD and Kyrie are both weak players, so.
Oh, you said weak players?
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. I was with you. I was with you until you said,
I know you're with. I know.
Until you said weak players, I'm like, ooh.
KD almost beat the Warriors, then he joined them to get a ring. Kyrie was convinced he's the main guy. Harden can't win in the playoffs.
He left the man.
Yeah, he left the man.
Yeah.
Or this generation's man.
That you had KD, Harden, and Westbrook on the same team, and they couldn't win a ring. Like, that's just unbelievable.
They almost did, though. That's the thing. They were up 3-1 on that Warriors team, and then KD was like, you know what, man? Let me join these jokers.
But you know they were a young team at that point. KD was like still legit, like one of the best players in the league. But
right, yeah, he was like 20. I mean, I think that was either his MVP season or the year after, because I think that was the year that Steph won the MVP. So it was the year after his MVP.
But
I think in a lot of it is like, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. No, you good.
I think a lot of it is, you know, these teams, they get all these superstars and they combine them on the same team, but if you don't mesh well together, then it's not going to matter.
Right.
And it takes probably like a year or two before they realize that they're not going to mesh, and then that's why you're seeing them being traded so often, because you get them all together, and then it's like, I don't know, it's very rare. Like LeBron, I think, did it when he went to the Heat, and they meshed, and then you had the Celtics with Garnett and Pierce and Ray Allen and all those superstars, and they just kind of mesh. But some of these guys, man, just don't play well together.
But what do you think? What do you think was the reason that those teams were successful? Because if you think about it, super teams were being formed back in the day. We just didn't think about them as super teams. Remember the Lakers when they got Malone, Peyton? They had Big Game, Big Shot. What's his name? That he always.
What are you talking about?
The Lakers. They had
Kareem the Dream. Is that you talking about?
It wasn't Kareem. It was Shaq, Kobe. They had like a dream team.
Derek Fisher, I think.
Derek Fisher. People forget about Derek Fisher, man. Don't sleep on him.
Man, don't forget about
Derek. He had the highest arc shot I've ever seen in my life.
Robert Ory was on that team. So you had Big Shot Rob. You had a lot of people on that team, but just the fact that they did not mesh together as a team, I think that goes to the point of you need good role players, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You really need good role players to help build that team and make it. Because if you look at that team that LeBron and them they brought to Miami, you had LeBron and Wade and Bosh, but those players knew how to step into a role that didn't require for them that they could say, hey, look, I'm gonna be unselfish enough to say that I'm gonna fit into this role so that we could be successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's the thing with all the people that LeBron plays with, is he somehow is able to get those, even if they are superstars, he's somehow able to talk them into playing their role.
Right.
Not Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean, Westbrook.
So,
I don't.
You gotta give him some time though, right?
No, true, and I do think. I think LeBron. I think like this year. I think LeBron kind of like pretty early on knew they're like, oh, we're not doing anything, and I think he really he kind of went from being because you got to think, if you look at like who LeBron's been the last couple seasons, at least with LA, he's been a distributor and a spot-up shooter. And I think this year he kind of tried to be more ball dominant and try to score more, going for that record. And I think if he, obviously health was an issue with AD, but I think if he distributed to Westbrook and let Westbrook, do his thing, I think they would have been more successful.
Yeah. I just think that, once you get a new team, because there was basically another new team for them. They got rid of so many people.
Right.
You're gonna need that time. I was surprised with Melo, man. Melo, that dude was balling, man.
Melo is, I think, And I like Melo more now than I did before because at least Melo can contribute now. And don't get me wrong, Melo is one of those all-time scorers, but he couldn't help his team win. And now him being that like a super six man or just one of those really good role players, he is really like contributing to the success of any team I think he could be a part of.
Okay, so let's jump back forward. We went down a rabbit hole of sports. We went down a rabbit hole, man. We got some people in the room, man. Who's in the room with us? Where you watching from? We talking sports, man. It's me, Papa G, and we got Ozzy and Tibbs in the building, man. Look, we all over the place. All right, so look.
Is it okay?
So this weekend we had some pretty important games. Like they were crazy, right? So who called those games that happened the way they happened? Who did the people you thought were gonna win? Did the team you thought were gonna win? Did they win?
Well, I knew the Celtics and the Bucks were gonna go 7.
Okay.
I called that before it even happened. I just think that they're two evenly matched teams. At the end of the day, I feel like the Celtics have a little bit more firepower because Middleton's out. I think if the Bucks have Middleton that series, I think they win it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
He was out the entire series, so I mean that's tough, man. You know, you got one of your leading scorers, and in my eyes, the MVP of last year's finals.
Oh yeah, he pretty much was the anchor for them last year, right?
Well, I mean, Giannis is going to do his thing, but Middleton last year in the finals was just unbelievable the way he shot in those last few games.
Yeah.
So I think if they have Middleton, I think the Bucks win, but the Celtics do win and they advance, so that's exciting for them.
Oh yeah. So what about you, Ozzy? I think you're on mute.
I'm back. Sorry, I was talking to the DPW guys. So.
That's all right.
No, he 100% right. With Middleton being out, I mean he's one of the best forwards in the league, and he's like the Scottie Pippen to MJ, Giannis being MJ, and I think they probably would have won, yes. And the issue with you can't guard Giannis, even on the games that we were like containing Giannis. He went and he dropped 10 assists instead of dropping an extra 10 points.
Right.
So Giannis is going to do what Giannis is going to do. He obviously didn't get the MVP, but I think besides maybe Jimmy Butler or Luka, like those are the people in the argument as the most dominant player in the playoffs so far. You're not going to guard Giannis. You can't guard him.
Yeah.
I mean, what did he average? Like 35, 15, and 7. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
It
is
crazy.
insane.
Crazy.
He broke some record. I can't remember what it was, but they were talking about it.
Did you hear him on his? Did you hear him on the exit interview? I like that kid, man. He's a humble guy, man. He said, he's happy. It makes him hungrier. It's making him where I need to practice. They played really good. We played ball. It was a good game. It was a good series. It's 7 games. And,
well, that was we're having a really good playoffs.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was saying earlier. Is I think now you have 4 of the most evenly matched teams that you've had in a while.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yes.
I do think that the Mavs and the Mavs coming back and beating the Suns to me was just kind of. I did not see that coming, to be honest. That was kind of
weird. That was crazy.
No, that was cool.
Luka freaking had that look in his eyes, man, and he just snapped, dude. He went off.
Well, so. The thing was, they go back and forth a little bit. You're like, oh, Game 7, the Suns are going to turn it up or whatever. When you go look at if you watch the game, you can see it. But if you look at the stat line, you're like, what did Chris Paul and Booker and Ayton even do?
Yeah.
It was insane. I think the stat was Luka had 27 points and the Suns had 27 points in the whole first quarter, first half. Because it wasn't like, oh, Luka's gonna drop 50 and the game is gonna be close to the end. No, they beat him by 50 points in a Game 7. That is insane.
That's the first time that's ever happened. The halftime
and not to mention they were playing at the Suns' home court.
Yeah,
I forget where that's at. But.
They was spanking them in an away game.
And the Suns were the favorite. the Suns had an amazing season. They do pretty well through the playoffs so far, and then they meet the Mavs, and don't get me wrong, the Mavs are a good team, but it's like it's Luka and then a ton of role players. It's not like, you know, it's not even like he has Porzingis as like a second star, and I wouldn't call Porzingis a star, but it's the closest thing they've had. And no, Luka is just doing his thing, and the role players are playing, you know, well. I mean, it's if he goes to the finals, like I said, it's going to be like as close as to a LeBron performance as we've seen since, what is it, 2016 when he took role players against the Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it reminds me of that when Dirk, Jason Terry kind of gives me those Spencer Dinwiddie vibes or whatever. So I don't know. It's
Jay Johnson, what's good? Jay Johnson says Luka is the truth. Yes, sir. Luka is. Is that your team, Jay? Are you a Dallas fan?
I think Paul Pierce is the truth, but all right.
Hey, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, that's his name is the truth, but Luka.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Luka's better than Paul Pierce. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Luka is better than Paul Pierce.
You heard it live. Steve thinks Paul Pierce is better than Luka.
We're gonna have to look. We're gonna have to.
Hey, clip that. Put it on YouTube.
You're gonna be all over YouTube, buddy. They gonna be like
Paul Pierce would be all over ESPN. I told you I was better than Paul Pierce be saying the crazy stuff. He'd be talking like he's better than Dwayne Wade.
Get out of here. Beverly, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, let's talk about what Beverly said. What did Beverly say?
Oh my gosh, dude.
What was Beverly's?
You want to bring? Yeah, I can bring up the actual.
This is about to take us down a big rabbit hole.
What did Beverly say? Because I mean, he's been saying some stuff. I was watching the show the other night, and he was talking about. They was asking who is the Warrior? Are the Warriors in trouble? Should we be worried? And he was like, "Look, man, there's no issues here. Warriors are good to go. Don't worry, don't panic." And he was like adamant about the best team that was in right now. So tell us what he said. What did Beverly say?
I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead.
He said talking about Chris Paul, he said he can't guard. He literally can't guard. He said, when I guard Chris Paul, I go out for a steak the night before. When I guard Steph Curry, I go to bed at 8.
Yo, listen, he called him a cone. And then he called him a cone, and then he referenced cones in basketball drills, how they don't move.
Yeah.
And you just go right by them. That's literally what he said on live TV. And Stephen A's like, "Are you talking about the 10-time All-Star Chris Paul? Is that who you're talking about? First team All Defense like 7 times?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, dude."
It's crazy, right? It's insane. But you know what? You see the other big one that they have out. They talk about how it's like it's almost bad luck when you get Chris in those last couple games.
It is.
Yeah.
So when there was a stat, and I think it's happened 4 times now. This year's happened
the most. That's a record.
He's been up 2-0, go to Game 7 and lose with Chris Paul on the team. And, you know, we've seen, and, you know, it'd be really cool if Chris Paul could win a championship, but what we've seen is he just doesn't perform as well in the playoffs, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, if you look at his talent in the regular season, even early in the playoffs, he is an amazing point guard, and, you know, obviously he's a generational talent, but if he can't perform in the playoffs, it doesn't matter.
Yep. It doesn't matter. You become another one of those players during Michael Jordan era who should have won a ring if Jordan wasn't there.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
don't matter.
Yeah, man, that's so crazy. And then did you see what they brought back an old clip from Rondo in 2009? Rondo made a statement to Chris.
I don't think Rondo should be talking about Chris Paul, but
Rondo said Chris will never get a ring. 2009.
I know. Rondo has 2 rings.
2 rings.
2 rings, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he won them both with that.
Celtics. He won one with the Celtics, and he won
one with the Lakers.
One with the Lakers.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He got one. Competing teams. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So look, we got on the Eastern. It's coming up this week. Tomorrow's first games. The Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals, man. So what's your thoughts? Who y'all got?
Warriors Celtics. I've loved watching Luka, but what the Warriors have done without Draymond it's insane. They have Steph and Clay, who's their main two guys, and then Wiggins showing up and people realizing that Wiggins is actually a good player again, which I like. I like to see that, like a redemption arc. And Jordan Poole should have won Most Improved Player. He went from the G League into the professionals like 25-5, but that's a whole other argument.
Yeah.
But Jordan Poole is probably the best six man in terms of offensive capability that we have in the playoffs right now. And you already know how I am. I mean, I gotta go with the Celtics. I think the Warriors, the Heat, and the Celtics are all like good run franchises. They have a solid team. The Mavericks are the only ones that are like, we're gonna build around just the superstar and hope it all falls into place, and they're getting far.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they have great role players, but they don't have a second star. I mean, Jimmy Butler has Bam, Steph and Clay. You have Tatum and Brown, and Luka.
But then they have some great,
They do.
They have great supporting cast. Like, Poole has stepped up. I mean, Gary Payton Jr. is out, but, like you said, it just depends on your supporting players, because when Steph was out, Poole stepped up big time. Payton stepped up big time. I will say that when Luka was out, Bronson stepped up, and Dinwiddie stepped up big time.
I think people are sleeping, and Dinwiddie's not. He hasn't had an amazing career. He had one season where he I think on the Nets he averaged like 25 and 4 or something like that. But he, as like a second option, as like a first option coming off the bench, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, he can score. He's smart. He's a vet. He's a really good player to have off your bench like that, and he's been performing really well. So you can't sleep on a guy like that. You can't.
So who you got, Tibbs?
I'm taking the Mavs over the Warriors, and I'm taking the Celtics over the Heat, and I'm taking the Celtics to beat the Mavs in the finals.
Okay, so you got Celtics.
I think the Mavs will take the Warriors to 7. I think they'll beat them in 7, and I think they'll just be so tired and exhausted after that series that they'll just lose to the Celtics probably in 6.
Okay, so Tibbs, you got the Celtics in 6. What about you, Ozzy? You got Celtics in what?
So against the Heat, I got Celtics in 6. If we playing the Warriors, and that's a good point about them taking the Warriors pretty far, but Steph can explode or whatever. I would say Celtics in 6. I think that's a fair bet. I would love to say Celtics in 5, but I don't think that's realistic.
So both of y'all going Celtics in 6.
Yeah, I think Luka's gonna have one of those series, man, where he just drops multiple 40 to 50 point games, and he's just the players around him are just hitting threes, and I just think that they're gonna take the Warriors down. I really do.
Okay. Well,
but I mean,
what you got? What you got, man?
Look, man, I did this before, and I'm not gonna do it again. I think that the Jimmy Butler bad boys down there, them white Heat, they gonna get hot, man. They tired of being disrespected. They tired of being disrespected, and I like Jason Tatum, man. I like him and his crew. My boy Robert
Williams,
Robert
Time Lord.
No. The ex-Hawk.
Al Horford.
Al Horford.
Yeah.
So I really want to go.
I tell you, man,
them.
he played really good.
I really want to go for them, but I can't go against the Heat again.
Yeah.
Look, Jimmy playing, man. I think they got into that fight in the locker room on purpose just to get everybody riled up. You know what I mean? Because Jimmy and them boys, they playing ball. So I'm gonna go with Miami, and I'm gonna go. I think that's gonna go to Game 7. I think that it's gonna go all the way, because I do believe that the Celtics deserve to be there, and it's just gonna be whoever supporting cast shows up, and the barring any injuries, I think the Heat will pull it out, but it's gonna be a scrappy game, and I believe that they have that veteran leader in old Butler, them bad boys, to pull it out. Now, I'm not saying the Celtics can't do it. I'm just going with the Heat. And I believe that I believe that the Warriors got too much firepower, man. I think that somebody made a good point that if you do this, if you say, okay, Luka, you're gonna have one of your great shooting nights, but guess what? Nobody else is. We're gonna lock everybody else down. So
yeah, but they said the same thing about Dirk. When Dirk took that team to the finals and beat Bill LeBron and the Wade and the.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I hear you, but I'm saying Luka's not Dirk yet. He's Dirk-ish.
I don't know, man. He's pretty dang close.
That's tough. That's tough. Here, I mean,
you gotta think Dirk was doing that as a center, so he got a little bit more.
Luka is a.
Power
Luka to me is a better all-around player than Dirk is.
I mean, he may be, but I don't know. I don't think that Luka can carry the team like that. He can get the points. He can keep them in the game. He can keep them in the series, but I don't think that they're gonna win it.
The difference is when Dirk won his, he was a veteran player. That's the difference. He was a veteran. He'd been around the league. He knows how to lead people, and I think being one of the greatest mid-range power forwards of all time does help.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Mavs are down what? 3? What were they down to the Suns?
Oh, I'm not saying that
2-1.
He's not good. I'm saying that if I'm the coach, and I know there's some players that you're not going to stop, like a Giannis, you're not going to stop him, right? All you could do is try to slow him down and make sure that nobody else around him catches fire. Because we've already seen, look at Durant. Durant can have a 40-piece or a 50-piece, and their team can still get put out. So that's what I'm saying. That if Steve Kerr comes back and he knows, okay, I can't stop this dude, but what I can do is I can limit everybody else to like 5 points, 10 points, no real support. Luka, do your thing, buddy, do your thing. But
well, here's the thing, I'm putting all my faith in the role players to be able to hit their shots.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's if they don't, then they're not going to win. But I just think that the momentum they have coming off smacking that Suns team, and I'm talking about smacking that Suns team.
They did.
And Game 7, dude, I think they're going to roll into that series and get off to a hot start, and I think they're going to take the Warriors down.
I think I don't disagree about the Mavericks thing. I do think it's a big difference that they're missing Draymond. I mean, he is like defensively and just his IQ in terms of like. Besides just like regular basketball stuff, because he's a genius defensively, just how he can get under players' skins. Yeah. Them missing that was a big part of their success because Draymond Green could get under the best players' skins.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
make mistakes. So the Warriors are going to miss that. There's definitely a chance that Luka just decides to go off, distributes well, and everyone goes off with him.
There is a chance.
Oh, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, betting odds are probably going to be on the Warriors, but I just think that the Mavs are going to win. Okay. I don't know. I just have this like gut feeling, man. I really do. All right. But I could be completely wrong, and they could lose in 4 games.
Well, look, Jewel Junkie said, "What's poppin', fellas? What's up, Jewel Junkie?" And Nicky J said, "I don't know this stuff by y'all. It's sports. It's a sports day.
Sports, man.
We're talking sports today. See all my sports stuff in the background? Yes.
Oh, we'll talk about the NFL. I'm gonna finish my predictions tonight.
You gonna finish your predictions? Hey, look, we gotta get ready for this fantasy football season that's coming up. I gotta get my stuff right, man. I gotta win. I ain't won in a while.
How do I flip this? There we go.
What's that? Your Panthers?
Hubbard. That's a
I got
jersey,
the Chuba Hubbard jersey.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
I paid like $10 for that thing, man.
Oh yeah?
Really?
Yeah, I got it online on this auction website for like $10, and it's certified and everything. You can look up the barcode, scan the barcode.
Nice. That's awesome. So, anyways, I was saying I'm going with the.
Heat and the Warriors.
I'm going with Heat and Warriors in the finals.
And who do you think wins?
And I think I gotta go with my boy, man. I'm going with Steph and the Splash Brothers, man.
Really?
What?
All right.
You can't talk Jimmy B up like that, didn't I?
I know. He's like, Jimmy B's so hot, the veteran presence.
Look,
and I'm going with Steph.
Look, I know, but see, the thing is, okay, so Jimmy Butler's gonna get them to the finals, and then it's gonna be, the Splash Brothers. Good evening, Lady L. The Splash Brothers, who haven't been there in a while, everybody's been discounting since they lost Durant. So I think it's gonna be these two teams that's got stuff to prove, right?
They're getting there with or without Durant. Durant was just to lock up, just to outscore LeBron,
but
not to lock up
they
LeBron
won
because he
without
can't play
him.
defense.
So they won without him, and they can win without him again. I think people just get it twisted sometimes.
I'd rather have Jordan Poole on my team than Kevin Durant.
Hey, but you know what? I won't be surprised.
Let me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, let me ask y'all this: what are the big season star trades in the off season?
Oh,
Durant
you want
back
to
The big time. Sorry, the big time star trades in the off season.
What you said, Joe Junkie? Saying what? You going with the same thing? Warriors
You
winning?
got the Warriors.
That's not fair. Y'all live in the same house.
We didn't discuss this. We didn't discuss this. This is fresh.
Nah, all right. Listen.
Oh, she said Jordan Poole over KD, no doubt. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
KD is a snake and a swear word, but he's a wimp. KD's a wimp.
When KD's in a wheelchair, Jordan Poole will be in his prime too.
Yeah, facts. But you know, I think my surprise move is the KD going back to the Warriors.
I'd lose.
Are you
my
serious?
Mind. I'd lose my mind.
There was talk of him going to what was it? Who was it? The Lakers, I think.
That's my surprise move, man. What y'all surprised?
Oh, they were talking about sending. I think they were talking about sending Westbrook for Kyrie and sending Kyrie to the Lakers or something like that, right?
Yeah, they did.
I keep seeing all sorts of crazy stuff.
No, who y'all think gonna be the Lakers coach, man?
Did they fire their coach?
Yeah.
I would love Mark Jackson.
Man, Mark Jackson all day, bro.
All right, well here's the thing. Lay GM can't handle that because he likes to be the coach, and Mark Jackson with those older guys is gonna whip him back into shape, and they're not gonna like it.
Thank you. But that's exactly what they need, though. They need that coach.
No. Yeah, Mark Jackson's great. I mean, what was he? He started off how the Warriors were fundamentally, and the Grizzlies, right? Did he coach the Grizzlies?
I don't remember him being the coach for the Grizzlies.
No, but I know that he laid the foundation for Steve Kerr.
Oh yeah.
To go into a good system. No. I think the Warriors was the last coaching job. She hasn't coached in 8 years. The Grizzlies thing, I think, just came out of my butt.
But look, so
I would love Mark Jackson though.
If Jackson was back the next year instead of getting fired, would
the Warriors.
Would they have won that championship?
You think this year?
No, the year one. So Mark Jackson got fired.
Right.
Next year the Warriors got Kerr, and they basically, I think they won that year.
I don't know. That's tough to say. Steve Kerr was, the 3-point shooter on the Bulls, and he came in and said, "Hey, we have these, generational talents." And I think Mark Jackson said that before anybody realized how good they were.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he talked to Mark Jackson too about it. But he came in and implemented this shooting style. Who knows what would have happened with Mark Jackson? But Mark Jackson is not a bad coach, and he's a tough coach. It would be good for the Lakers.
Yeah,
100%.
Jude Junkie says yes. Mark Jackson is a legend. We want him. Great person and coach. She met him in person. Yes, we do want him in the Lakers. Absolutely. All right.
Are you a Lakers fan, sorry?
By way of my wife.
Gotcha. You're a Hawks fan, or Hawks, right?
Yeah, I'm a Hawks fan. Is it up there? I think it's up there somewhere.
Nope. Trae Young, man.
Oh.
I don't know if Ayton is gonna leave or not. They're kind of setting it up like they keep, breaking off Ayton's thing, but now I can't think of his name on the Bulls. I think he's leaving. Not DeMar. Maybe it is DeMar. Oh my God, I'm trying to think now.
Man,
but I think.
DeRozan? DeMar DeRozan?
Yeah, I don't think it's DeMar that I'm thinking of. My brain is in a tizzy right now.
Larkinen or whatever? Isn't he on the Bulls?
No, Laurie's been gone. No, maybe it is DeMar. They're talking about... I keep seeing things about Zach LaVine or DeMar leaving, which I think would be crazy. Yeah. Talking about them... Oh, I think it was DeMar going to...
The Lakers.
To the Lakers, or was it Zach LaVine?
It was DeMar, because that's what they were saying. That's what Magic was talking about. He was
yeah, and then they're talking about trading Westbrook. No team wants Westbrook.
They don't want his contract.
Westbrook's a bum.
I don't think he's a bum. I think he just needs time. I mean, because every year they just trade him. I mean, it's like, yo, as soon as he gets it rolling, then they trade him.
But when has he contributed to? He's never contributed to winning. You know when he was his best? When he was the second option. Or the third option. Who was it with the Rockets? That was his best season.
No, I think
that was when he averaged a triple-double.
Oklahoma.
No. He didn't average triple-double on the Rockets, did he?
It was Oklahoma.
I know he had a season where he averaged a triple-double. I don't know what team it was with.
He averaged a triple-double for a couple seasons actually. But he was in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. No, when he joined the Rockets and he was the second option, and I want to say it was either to Harden or Chris Paul. It was to Harden.
It was Harden because I think Chris Paul was the trade to get Westbrook.
I think so too. But regardless, Westbrook was averaging less of everything, but he was more efficient shooting, and he wasn't getting as many turnovers. And that's what you want from a super athletic guy. If they're just getting turnovers and everything, it's useless. Efficiency is so important, man.
Well, I mean, and when you're that athletic, you have to be able to control it as well. He seems to kind of let loose and not be able to control his athleticism sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what you think of how he's performed, he's one of the most athletic players we've ever seen. He is insane.
What year is he in right now? He's been playing.
Is he 33, 32?
He's up
playing for 10 years or something.
So I mean, that dude's still
insane.
Explosive. But I think he just needs a system that he can run in and that all of them can play in together.
I do think if he was on a team with a good ball dominant point guard and he comes off the bench to be that spark, that would be insane. That would when Westbrook turns 34 and he's getting into the twilight, that's when he's going to get a ring, when he's that six man coming off the bench, because then he's going to be that spark plug. He's going to be like Spencer Dinwiddie but 2 times better.
What if he stayed with the Lakers and the Lakers get Mark Jackson and Mark Jackson says, "Look, I'm bringing you off the bench as my 6th man."
It'd be good, but AD needs to stay healthy.
That's the thing. I mean, should they trade AD?
That's what I keep seeing that too, and
I don't think so.
It's really hard because when AD is good, he's the second best power forward in the league behind Giannis.
Who's the first?
Giannis. Easily.
Okay.
I think Giannis may be. I don't know. I think he may be the most dominant player in the league for sure.
I would argue that with you. I would be on your side.
You mean like dominant?
As in just being able to do whatever he wants whenever
like
he
Shaq,
wants.
Like Shaq was.
Like
essentially, yeah.
Like there's
I don't
literally
know if he's
4
the best
people trying to guard him.
Right.
I think LeBron is still the best player in the league, personally, but
true.
I
don't know.
He's a humble player, man. A humble player like that, and he's hungry, always talking about getting better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm starting a team from scratch. I don't know if I want Giannis or Jokic. Because Jokic can do so much more. He can do so much more.
But Giannis plays power forward, right?
Giannis plays power forward. Jokic plays center.
See, so you can start a team with Giannis or Jokic and still build around. What if you had both of them?
Right, you can, and I think it's easier to build around Giannis because you get a solid point guard, you get a spot up shooting guard, you get a defensive minded small forward, and you get basically an Al Horford at center, and you have a championship team.
That's it, man.
Jokic is harder because you need Jokic is hard, man. You just need spot up shooters, I guess. You need players that are a little bit worse than Klay Thompson everywhere. And that's harder to find than evening out a team around Giannis.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jokic can score from more. I don't know. Giannis gets better every season. That's the thing.
Every season.
His 3 ball is good, man. His 3 ball is good, man. and if he keeps working on it, it's gonna be really dangerous for the league if he can reliably shoot the three.
Because he's practicing on it, right?
Oh yeah.
So can you imagine when he comes back next season and he's already one of the most dominant forces, and now he got a 3-ball on him?
Oh.
It's gonna be a wrap, man. It's gonna be a wrap. He already overcame his. He was like, he looked up to Durant, right?
I don't think anyone looked up to Durant.
No, I'm saying like that was his thing, and then people was like, oh, he's when they faced them and he took them out, they were like, oh, so you beat your person that you looked up to and whatever. And, he's like, it's the game, it's not a one-on-one game. So I like that.
Yeah.
Just imagine if Giannis can score, if he can mid-range like Jokic and he can 3-ball like Cat. That's game over.
Yeah.
That's game over, man.
Yeah. Consistently. That would be unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
That'd be tough. And then you get Middleton back as well.
Oh. Because Middleton is a perennial all-defensive player too.
Yeah. He's a really good.
I think people sleep on Middleton because the Bucks don't get a lot of coverage and everything. Middleton is really good.
Because where they are.
Well, I think they did, but after that last finals, I don't think they do anymore. I mean, he went off.
They don't get the credit that they should be getting. But look, we're gonna pivot. Man. We're gonna talk football real quick.
All right.
Ooh, Patriots gonna be bad this season.
You said
real bad.
Patriots gonna be bad this season. Who's your surprise? Who's your surprise team this year?
Oh, hold on 1 second. I'll get my notebook.
Who you got, Tibbs? What's your surprise team this year?
Oh man. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Maybe you should come back to me. What about yours?
My surprise team. Who you got, Ozzy?
So, all right. Well, I have my week predictions, but I haven't wrote down the NFC yet. I wrote down the AFC.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't even looked at the schedules yet.
I'll tell you right now, the Bills are winning the Super Bowl. I'll tell you
Bills?
that.
You think so?
Yeah.
My surprise team is gonna be the Dolphins, man.
Yeah.
100%.
That's a good one.
Surprise team is gonna be the Dolphins, man. They loaded up on running backs. I don't even know if they're gonna be able to sustain all of them. Many of them may have to find another home, but they got running backs. They got the daggone
speed.
All kinds of speed.
They have a lot. So all right. Here's Tua cannot throw the long ball.
That's not true.
Tua cannot throw the long ball.
I watched them do it at Alabama for years, man. Listen, I think if Tua can put it all together, the Dolphins are really dangerous this year.
I'm not even saying that Tua's not a bad quarterback. He's not. I think he's average. But
yeah,
I think with the weapons, there's no excuse for him to play how he is. And with a good offensive-minded coach, he's going to be good, man. He's going to be real good. I think the Dolphins go 11-6 this year.
I think that's a pretty good assessment. But
I haven't looked at their schedule though. Who are their losses to?
So
last year?
Let me just look.
I can look it up.
I mean, all right. Last year who they lose to?
No. I mean, like you said, 11-6 this year, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, we can break it down week by week if you want. The Dolphins, they beat the Patriots week 1.
Okay.
They're going to beat the Patriots week 1. Where are they at week 2? They lose to the Ravens. Yep. At home, I think they lose to the Ravens. I think they can surprise a win out of the Bills.
Hey, look, anytime that they playing within their division, they always give a good fight, man.
Right, no, exactly. They're great divisional. I think they lose to the Bengals away, when they're away. Beat the Jets, that's easy.
Beat the Vikings.
Beat the Vikings.
I think they'll win that stretch right there through the Lions, the Bears.
Yeah, beat the Steelers. Beat the Lions. Beat the Bears. I think they're going to lose to the Browns.
Do the Browns have a quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Watson.
top 5 quarterback in the league.
They
They got
Deshaun.
Watson, didn't they? Yeah, that's
They got
right,
Deshaun,
right.
and they still have their boy.
That's bold, man.
I hope Baker goes to the Panthers. I really do.
They
I think it's their
don't
best
nobody
shot.
want to spend that money though.
The Panthers have money. They've got money.
Yeah.
What else are they gonna do?
But I'm saying they don't want to spend that money on like this dude. They're like, yo, come down on that price.
Well, yeah.
You know what I got? My surprise pick of the season are the Patriots are finishing last in their division.
Oh, really?
Why do you think the Patriots are going to be so bad? Is it because of strength of schedule? I mean, Mac Jones seemed to be doing pretty well last year.
Strength of schedule. They didn't bring back any of their meaningful players. They had a bad draft. They brought in a speedy quarterback, but a speedy wideout. But one speedy guy doesn't make the difference on offense.
Yeah.
They got rid of half of their good players, and the Jets had such a better draft. They have to play a strong Dolphins team and a Super Bowl contender Bills. They're not going to do well in the division. They're not going to do well outside the division. I think when they play anyone above a 500, they're going to have trouble.
Did they lose a lot on defense? I know their defense was pretty stout last year.
Yeah, their defense was okay, but they just lost some players on defense too.
And they're older too, so they brought back a lot of older players, and now it's
Yeah.
like, you know.
And I love
Yeah.
Bill, but
I was going to say, anytime you got him coaching, there's always a shot.
they probably won't do as bad as 4-13. But they're not finishing above the Bills, and they're not finishing above the Dolphins. The question is if they beat out the Jets in the division, and I think the Jets are moving in the right direction as a franchise.
If I had to pick another team for a surprise, it would be the Jets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked the Colts last year. I really like the Colts this year.
Yeah, they got Matty Ice. I'm hoping
Matty Ice, baby.
I think they're gonna do something, man. I hope because he got a line that's gonna protect him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna give him that time that he needs. If he gets that time in the pocket, man, that dude he's a legit quarterback.
Yes, he is.
It's sad to see him go, but one, we couldn't afford to keep him. Two, they weren't protecting him, so he was. It was like I was worried every time that he hiked the ball because I'm like, they're gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
They're gonna get to him. Give him time.
And the Falcons just keep drafting these I don't know, these just star players. They don't seem to be working on their line or anything like that. They got another wide receiver in the first round, didn't they?
And then they let Julio go before they even knew what this new guy was going to be doing. Now he just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know, and what's his face is going to be suspended for the year, right?
Yeah. So he was gone because he had
for gambling $1,000.
Who's that?
It was just $1,000. It wasn't even on my games. You can't gamble. I think you're missing the point here.
At least if you're gonna gamble, do more than $1,000, man. You're making millions of dollars. At least making something good.
You don't do it. Don't do stupid. I'm sure you got a significant other who can go and place bets in your name.
Oh yeah.
How do you get caught doing that though?
Someone says something, and they look.
Probably something on social media posting it.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, it's someone. I'm sure if someone comes forward too, the NFL is going to give him a little bit more than the $1,000 too, because it's better for the league.
Exactly. So you got them whistleblowers out there.
You know who I think is going to win Rookie of the Year?
Who that?
New Steelers quarterback, Kenny Pickett, I think his name is.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, so? I think. Oh yeah, he's all right, so he's coming into a system with a lot of weapons and probably. A quarterback coming in the late first round, he's coming into one of the most stable organizations in the NFL. Sure. Granted, the Steelers I don't think are going to be good this year, but with the weapons he has has all the chance to succeed. And I think in terms of quarterbacks, I think he has the most chance. He's not going into a system he needs to save. The Steelers have their system. They have their head coach. Their GM is moving on, but that's the first time they've moved on from a GM in 15 years. They're not going to be in turmoil because of that.
Yeah.
I think he has a really good chance, at least for quarterbacks. I'd have to look at everyone else to see, but I think for quarterbacks and maybe just offensive players in general, I think he has the best shot.
What do y'all think about the Chiefs this year? think they made a mistake letting them that wide receiver go?
I don't think it wouldn't be a mistake if they got someone better, but like the Chiefs are getting older. Patrick Mahomes barely beat the Bills, and without the overtime rule, he wouldn't have. I think the Chiefs are going to do bad this year. I mean, excuse me. And this is a hot take too because I don't love like anything the Chiefs did. I think the Chiefs barely break 500 if they even break 500.
You think so?
They're in a harder division now. The
That's
Raiders.
True. They are in a harder division.
That is the toughest division in the NFL. The Raiders, the Broncos, the Chargers, who are winning the division, and the Chiefs. Like that's a tough division, really tough. And every single one of those teams improved, and the Chiefs got worse.
Man,
yeah.
You know what? I keep forgetting the Raiders got Devontae Adams.
They got Devontae, and do not sleep on Derek Carr, man.
I like Derek.
I've always thought Carr was a good quarterback.
I like Derek. I felt bad when he lost Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I think Derek Carr is like who Baker Mayfield wants to be. He's Baker Mayfield, but more efficient. I think Derek Carr has like quietly thrown for over 4,000 yards the last couple of years too. It's a good run organization.
With injuries.
Yeah.
Hey guys, off-topic question. If you see any of this in your nearest commissary, pick up 5 and I will pay you plus a finder's fee. What?
What is it?
What is it? This is sports.
What are they asking us to pick up?
Yeah. What is it?
I don't know. There's no picture on it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Is it an MRE? Because that's like one of the only things I can think you can get at the commissary that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know why people want them things. Those MREs.
They're good if you're hiking or you're camping.
You can get something better than an MRE though. You can get a better version of an MRE.
I just want the heater meal out of there, like the little heater packs. Those things are pretty cool.
That's why you field stripping and that's all you take.
Oh yeah.
See? I'm not about to be taking no MREs. I'm gonna go right up to Rhea, REI. How you pronounce it?
REI.
And I'm
get the good ones.
I'm gonna go exactly. I'm gonna get me some real spaghetti.
Like hamburger helper in a bag or something. That thing's good.
Yeah.
She said, laughing my butt off. There's a nationwide shortage on infant milk.
No, they just. Did you see what the DoD put out?
What?
They put out that you can online submit for baby formula and you'll get it through TRICARE in the mail.
Really?
Yep. Our commander just pushed that down to us. Made sure we told our troops.
That's good stuff.
Pretty good, right? That's pretty good for the Army. That's pretty good.
That is.
Sending baby formula in the mail. That's pretty good.
I think it's in the mail. It's either in the mail or they need to pick it up or whatever at the hospital, but pretty good.
Well, look.
Let me.
We're nearing our time, man. So what's your hot take?
For what? What you got? What you want hot take? I mean, I think the Bills are going 15-2.
The Bills going 15-2. Who you got winning the Super Bowl?
Bills.
Okay, what you got?
Probably going to be Bills Cowboys. Cowboys going to fix.
Bills Cowboys.
Cowboys. I'd have to look and go through. The Packers are going to be bad this year.
What?
Aaron Rodgers has always been overrated, and he doesn't have his best weapon now.
You sleeping on Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Discount Double Check?
Sleeping. Discount Double Check gets double the losses in the playoffs than any other all-time great. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
He carried them every year.
Yeah.
I
like Rodgers.
I like Rodgers too.
Even when they went and got a quarterback that they're gonna replace him with, he was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done.
I like Aaron Rodgers, but I think he's overrated and he doesn't perform in the playoffs.
You know.
But if you look at the Cowboys, they're first in defensive points, offensive points, yards. The only issue is their penalties. I think they're going to fix their penalties, and they're going to the Super Bowl, and they're going to lose to the Bills.
All right, what you got, Tibbs?
The hot take.
Oh man, the Bills are definitely a contender. think the Bills can win it all. I think the Rams could definitely get back to the playoffs, if not go far in the playoffs. The Cowboys are going to be really good, like he said. I mean, I'll probably take the Bills as well, man. To be honest, I think the Bills. I think the Bills are the most like complete team right now. I really do.
Okay, well, my hot take is gonna be a surprise. It's I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say the Browns are probably gonna lead their division.
100%, I agree.
And they're gonna go at least into the second round of the playoffs.
I think the Browns are going to go 12-5 or 13-4, and I think they play the Bills in the AFC Championship.
And that's the team that beat them.
The only issue with the Browns is they don't have really good receivers. They are one of the most complete teams in the NFL. If you look at every single position,
right? They lost Jarvis.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. They're not great at receiver.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you look around,
I think they addressed it. They addressed that issue in the draft, though. I think they picked up some receivers.
We'll see. We'll see about receivers. Receivers can go up in the air.
Yeah.
But if you look at the roster, they are one of the most complete rosters in the NFL, and you can't get around that. And they were good with Baker. They were good-ish with Baker. People forget about how good Deshaun Watson is. He has never been on a good franchise. He was on the Texans. What did he throw for 4,500 yards almost every single season?
He was running for his life every game, though.
Oh my God! He has a team that could protect him. He has at least good running backs. I mean, Nick Chubb is a beast. He's a beast, man. He's not gonna have to run as much. And if he has capable wideouts, which he had in Texas, down in Houston, he will go off. I agree. The Browns are going to be very good this year. Yeah. I was high on the Browns last year. I'm high on the Browns again this year.
Look,
12-5 or 13-4.
Their defense it only got better. So I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they're gonna mop up some people, and they're gonna be looking sick.
I agree with you.
All right, fellas.
You guys don't think the Titans are gonna make any noise?
Titans aren't even going to win their division. The Colts are going to win the division.
So they lost their number one receiver.
Yeah.
The year before that, they got rid of their number one tight end.
Well, they did get a receiver in the draft. Didn't
they? They said that it was the big, strong, fast receiver, but they let Julio Jones go.
Well, they bring back Henry.
They brought back Henry if he stays healthy.
Yeah, but once you're injured once you're injured, you're prone to injury, right?
CMC.
And then
Saquon.
The only thing that I can think is the only way he would be able to sustain it is if he's not having to carry that full workload. With everything that they just did, and Tannehill, doing his thing, you don't know which version of him is going to show up half the time,
Yeah.
So
true.
That's the thing. I think that he'll end up probably, if he gets the full workload, he'll probably end up injured again.
Well, I do like the Titans a lot, and I had the Titans to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs because the Titans have a great pass rush, and the pass rush is the same, probably gotten better since last season. And I thought they got rid of someone and I thought they got AJ Brown after they lost somebody. Isn't that what happened with the Titans? Because
I think they lost AJ Brown and picked up a big time wide receiver in the draft.
They got they let AJ Brown go, actually. Not let him go, but he was traded.
Yeah, right? And now what is he with the Jags or something?
I don't remember which team he went to.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They got Robert Woods. Woods.
Yeah.
They got Robert Woods, which I mean he's older, but Robert Woods is reliable. He's a good receiver. But I think it all depends on the healthiness of their players.
Yeah.
But they're solid. They're solid. I don't think they're as good as the Colts. The Colts had 7 All-Pro players on their team last year. They're adding an eighth. They're adding an eighth player.
Colts are beasts, man. Colts are gonna spank some people this year.
Colts are gonna be really good. I think the Titans are gonna go like 10-7, 11-6, and the Colts are gonna go like 12-5, 11-6 area. But The Colts are bringing back all their people. They have a really good culture. They address their issue at quarterback. They don't really have any issues besides the fact they don't have they have a low tier number 1 wide receiver, but they have. I don't know if I'd call him the best running back. He was the best running back last year in Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is amazing.
He has a quarterback now.
Huh? And he has a quarterback now. So his workload isn't going to be as high, or it doesn't have to be as high.
Right.
And they didn't lose any big name players, so you have the team of all pros. I mean, the Colts can make some serious noise.
Yeah. They could be a
Cinderella
Cinderella
team,
Colts. Man. They could be a Cinderella team. They could very well. This could be Matt Ryan's year to make up for that Super Bowl that we lost.
Well, the divisional winners of the AFC are going to be the Bills, the Browns, the Colts, and who do I have coming out of? Who do I got coming out? We got the Bills, the Browns.
I think it's crazy
Colts,
you guys think.
And the Chargers.
Chargers. I'm about to say you got to be saying the Chargers, man.
Chargers.
That dude is a beast too.
What about Watson?
I don't think he's going to go in and immediately they're just going to start clicking and win as many games as you say they're going to win. I just don't think that's going to happen. I mean, he's been out of football for a couple of years now, hasn't he?
Just 1 year.
A year.
A year,
1 year.
Yep.
1 year. He's going to be rusty the first couple games.
Yeah, but that's what preseason. I think they're going to get his butt right.
I know you gotta you have to. Do you remember what Watson used to do with bums? The Browns have such a complete, one of the most complete rosters in the NFL. You talked about the Bills. The Browns might be more complete than the Bills roster if you look all around. I'm not saying the Bills aren't a higher ceiling, but the Browns are super complete, and now they have a legitimately top 5 quarterback in the league when he's playing. He guaranteed over 4,000 yards.
And he's healthy.
Yeah, guaranteed 35 to 40 touchdowns, guaranteed 500 yards rushing, or probably 400.
Yeah.
I understand being a little skittish about Russell.
I mean, with all
Russell
that he's
Wilson.
gone through, I don't know. He's got to be right in the head, man.
No, but the whole time he said. The whole time, I'm innocent, I'm good, or whatever. That's why they're keeping Baker Mayfield just in case. But the whole time he said, "Oh, I'm innocent, I'm good. I'm going to be playing in the NFL," and he's playing in the NFL on a good franchise. The Browns are a good franchise now. We'll see how long that lasts, but
yeah.
Well, maybe they can lock it in and do what y'all say they're going to do. I guess.
We'll see.
Only time will tell. Huh?
Look, we'll be back here at least once a week to talk about it.
Ooh.
For sure.
Well, look, gentlemen, it was awesome sitting down talking sports with y'all. I feel like we were back in the office again. At least we didn't go down the LeBron loophole.
We're gonna come into a dead season pretty soon. We're gonna have some debates on here. We're gonna have some debates.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I think I might be the odd man out. I'm gonna have to get somebody else in here with me because I think both of y'all on the same side with the LeBron deal. But it's all good. I like LeBron. He's a good guy. I do.
He's played against more All-Stars, more Hall of Fame players. He's had worse teams. He's better rebounder, passer.
I hear you.
Defender.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm assuming we're talking about the Kobe versus LeBron debate. Is that what we're talking about?
Not even a debate.
MJ, Mike, all of them.
How are you going to be the number 1 player in your position and then go against the number 2? And Kobe was the number 2 for 3 of his championships. He's invalid in the GOAT debate.
On that note,
and inefficient, so inefficient.
This is us talking sports, man. Thank y'all for coming out, hanging with us. We'll see y'all on the next show. Peace.
Nice talking to you.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Peace.
See ya.